I hate helping people move. It's the worst. You as a human being, there's a lot of things you dread in life, right? Storms. Oh God, if it's a nasty storm, rotten food, and helping people move. That's the worst things possible, okay? And just mean people. I don't like mean people either. But man, I do not like helping people move. A study came out saying more than a third of Americans secretly hate being asked to help with moving. I think that's like secretly the rest of that equation is scared to tell the truth. Okay, for one reason or another, they're scared somebody's going to rat them out, or scared for just because of retaliation of some whatever. Okay, I think that percentage is actually like it's 9 out of 10 people hate, full on hate helping somebody move. It's the worst. It's the worst. But you as an individual, you really want those people to help you out. But boy, I don't know anybody that's just like, oh, you're moving? Can I help? No, I've never heard that before. Are you somebody that does that? Do you know something? Because there's something wrong with you. Did you hit your head against the wall? What the shit? That's terrible. Terrible. The worst experience I ever had was helping my brother. He was moving from an apartment in Denver to to a home in Lakewood. This is before he moved to Australia. And he calls me up. He's like, hey, can you and Brandy come over and help us move? We'll be ready to go by 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, absolutely. You're going to be ready to go. I'll just move stuff, doing the heavy lifting. Yeah. That's fine. Show up the next morning. Nothing is packed. Zip. Zero. Nothing. So him being in the restaurant industry, if you've ever worked in the restaurant industry and you've seen what the size of the boxes are that you get the cups delivered in, it's like a roughly 4 foot tall box, right? And it's maybe 2 feet wide, cubed. So he was just shoving stuff in there, like dumping it in there. Because it was like, I don't know, he got liquored up the night before, forgot that he had to move. I have no idea. But they're just dumping stuff in those giant boxes, just literally dumping, not a care in the world of dumping stuff in trash bags is terrible. We showed up at 9 a.m. We did not leave to go home and go to sleep until 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh, it was terrible. Worst experience ever, Chris. I blame you. It's terrible. I have flashbacks sometimes. Like, pack the bags, pack the boxes. What's going on? Terrible. Ugh. That was what was funny too is after my brother got the gig in Australia, I was helping clean up the house that they had just bought, and they were selling it. I volunteered. I was like, I'll help clean up the yard and the house and stuff, so that way it's easier for you guys to sell. So I'm cleaning up the yard, and they have bushes as a separation for the neighbor, and behind the bushes is a chain link fence, of course. But I'm going through cleaning stuff up, mowing the lawn, like I said, and I see something out of the corner of my eye in the bushes. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I grab a hold of it, and just pull it out of the bushes. Guess what it was? Keep in mind, this was in, I want to say, April or May. It was his fucking Christmas tree. He had a Christmas tree that a live one, and then instead of throwing it out in the garbage, they just stuck it in the bushes. I think part of it was like the news came so fast with him needing to go out to Australia and start working out there ASAP that he's just like, I'm going to stick this in there. Nobody's going to know. So I pulled it out and I had to get rid of it. I was so irritated. It was funny though. Funny. Anyway, good times. My brother's a good guy. He just does dumb stuff. just like moi. It's in the blood, bro. It's in the blood. Hope you guys are having a great day. A lot to get into. Cannot freaking wait. A very busy show. A lot of great headlines. Crazy, wild stuff happening across the globe, and a lot of listener interaction today. Before we do that, make sure you hit the like button wherever you're consuming this. Whether you're watching or listening, like I said, click the like button. Go ahead, click on the subscribe button. And if you're able, go ahead, click on, that's a lot of clicking, the notification thing. So that way you get notified every time there's a new episode. And remember, today's show is presented to you by Roof Goat USA. I'll tell you more about the GOAT, Roof Goat USA, in just a little bit. But right now, let's do it. Let's jump into those headlines.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now, here are the headlines.
Man, you can only do so much. As a human race, sometimes you sit there and go, come on, really? I thought we were making improvements. Seriously. Not surprising, this is a headline. It's disturbing, but here we are. Nobody's going to go, whoa, didn't see that one coming. No, it happened. A tourist in the Philippines was brutally attacked by a crocodile. Oh my God, was he just like hanging out at his home? Was he going for a walk? What's the deal? This is surprising. Well, he climbed into an enclosure at a zoo and then tried to take a selfie with it. Yeah, you're saying the same thing of, well, I mean, what do you expect? Jesus. My goodness gracious. Now, obviously, the guy probably has something wrong inside his noggin, and that's the sad part of it. Or he's just stupid. That's always a possibility. There's some people you've met, and you're like, but what? Huh? Did you eat paint chips as a child? Is that what happened, Tommy boy? My goodness gracious. It's so fucking disturbing. My God. Yeah, we actually have audio of the investigation afterwards. They're asking him, they're like, what exactly led to it?
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid? Why?
Because he just jumped into a gator pit, bro. That's so bad. Never is that a good idea. You see, like, professionals still get messed up. You saw that guy, I can't remember what country it was in, but he got his arm ripped off by a tiger because he was too close to the cage. And I believe that dude actually worked with the animals. So he's a quote unquote expert. Don't be messing with these animals that are, killing machines. Do you think people, there's that one guy, but he lost the gator, that one guy that had that cuddle gator that was like the nicest alligator on the planet. All of the other ones, ever since they became a thing, mean, nasty killing machines. Okay? Don't think that there's going to be an exception. But I'm good with animals. I swear to God. I grew up with cats. It's fine. Listen, I get it. Cats are dicks. But I'll take on a house cat versus, a freaking crocodile. My goodness, dude. Note to self, don't jump into crocodile encounter. Okay, listen, sometimes you need somebody else to make a mistake for you to realize, oh, don't do that. A student was rescued from Mount Fuji twice in 1 week. Okay. Mount Fuji, that beautiful, beautiful mountain in Japan. You've seen it a billion times. It's just perfectly laid out. It's very beautiful landscape. But a lot of people like to climb it. And this student went up there, got stranded, had to be rescued. Realized that he forgot his phone up there, went back up like 3-4 days later. Then got stranded again. Hey, it's me again. Can you guys help? Oh my God. Who is it? It's Todd. He's stuck up on the fucking mountain again. Damn it. He is in so much trouble. That dude needs to pay for all the first responders that had to go up there. All the expenses, excuse me. Whether it's, gas, it's hiring the pilots and whatever, because I imagine they had to fly up there. I don't know. Either way, that dude needs to get a giant bill in the mail because you can't do stuff like that. Come on. First responders get irritated with that. They want to be helping people that don't make dumb mistakes. Or if they do, it's not the same one in like 3-4 days. Come on. Ridiculous. There's a lot of, listen, we all do dumb things, but that one's pretty fucking dumb. Now you could go, well, his whole life's on that phone. Just about, if you think about what, especially if he's a student, he has everything on his phone. Probably his school accounts. He has work accounts. If he has a job, social media, which doesn't really matter. But then all this stuff, bank accounts, access, stuff like that. He doesn't want to leave it up there. I get it, but how about this? Don't leave your phone. Get a little fanny pack next time you go on a mountain. So that's where it goes. Don't just be like putting it in your pocket like you're going to the grocery store, some shit like that. Secure it up. My goodness. Oh, dang it. I forgot my phone. I'm going back up, guys. I would think that guy would be banned from going up to any mountain in Japan. Be like, nope. We got a sign. Your face is on it. Don't let this guy anywhere near the mountain. Okay, it's literally just a little hill over here in the valley. Don't give a shit. You're not allowed up there. We don't trust you. We don't trust you worth a shit. It's an ant hill. Get him off. Get him off. Somebody tackles him from the side. Boom. This is disgusting. But again, I hate making fun of this because there's something wrong in this person's head. But in a weird, twisted way, it brings me joy. Okay? We're just going to assume they're having a terrible, terrible day. I've had shitty days. I have. I know so many people that have worse days than I've ever had. Okay? But not one of them has ever done this. A Southwest Airlines flight was met by police and medical personnel in Chicago after a female passenger apparently stripped naked and then decided to defecate on her seat mid-flight, forcing the plane to, make an emergency landing and took the plane out of commission so it could get deep cleaned. Listen, again, I get that we all run into some hurdles. But now I wouldn't be surprised if we found out that this lady has some sort of condition. But there's also people that you run into or you hear stories about like, nah, they're just spoiled shitheads that think that they can get away with a lot of things. It's a very weird time this day and age. That's why I feel like it's perfectly fine to poke fun of it. Okay? Perfectly fine. I tweeted that out. John responded with shittiest flight ever. That's a dad joke if I've ever heard one. Come on. Gern responded with, I don't understand what the problem is. Gern, you're disgusting. Come on. Come on. That's terrible. That's one of those moments if you're on the flight, you're just, imagine if you fell asleep. Then all of a sudden you're groggy, you wake up to the commotion of this, and then you look over and you're wiping the sleep from your eyes essentially, and you see some lady that's naked on your flight just taking a dump on her seat. And then what would make it even worse is if she's in deep eye contact with you. That would be even worse. Be like, is this a dream? My God, I need to go back to sleep. This is terrible, terrible dream. What did I eat? That's disgusting. I still haven't had anything like very chaotic. I had a guy yell at me once on a flight when I was flying out to Miami to go cover a Super Bowl. And it was on Southwest, and I was saving a flight. I was saving a seat for Kendall, who worked with me, and she didn't want to fly alone. And we were going to discuss our video plan for Miami. And I sat, uh, what was it? I sat in the middle. She was going to sit next in the aisle or something like that, right? And this guy comes over and he goes to set his stuff. I was like, "Oh, I'm saving this." He's all, "For who?" And I just quickly was like, "My wife." "Fuck you." Bullshit. And then she comes over like a minute later, sits down. He's all, "Bullshit," because she's attractive. Like, what's that supposed to mean? God, fucking dick. "I see your face. You got nothing. You got nothing, sir." Like, Jesus Christ. "You're a real mean person, sir." Then I had to tell her, I was like, "I told him you're my wife. Please, God, do not spill the beans." That was an awkward conversation telling my wife about that one. She's like, "So you're pretending while you're on a work trip with your female coworker that you were pretending on a flight that she was your wife?" And I'm like, "When you say it out loud, it sounds terrible. But yes, yes." It's funny. Kendall's kicking butt. She's doing an on-air thing. Oh, I don't remember what company it is, but she does a lot of fantasy football stuff. So I'm very proud of her. She got out of Denver, and which I was encouraging her to do, to spread her wings and fly. And now she's kicking butt, taking names. I'll take credit for it. I'll take credit for it, Kendall. No, that's all her. That's all her. She's a badass. Um, I wanted to bring this up because I was like, why is this trending? And I'm like, why is everyone talking about 100 men in a gorilla? That was trending on Twitter. It was trending just about everywhere. Apparently, some Twitter guy, I don't know if he's a popular individual or not, but his tweet saying, I think, now he used some colorful language that I'm not going to repeat on this show. Um, but he said, I think 100 guys could take on or could beat one gorilla. And then I retweeted that, and I said, why is everybody talking about this? Chris responded with, the real question is, what 100 men are willing to try? I said, dumb ones. You got to be dumb to try to take on a gorilla. And if you're full grown men taking on one gorilla, you got to be in sync on this, because there's no freaking way. They did a computer simulation. Somebody did a simulation. Did not end well for the men. Okay? If it's hand-to-hand combat, that's what we're talking about here. And I've said this before. A lot of us guys think we know how to fight until you get in a fight. Everybody has a game plan until you get punched in the face, especially if what's punching you in the face is a fucking gorilla. Then I broke it down by generations. I said, what generation are they? Because I think that matters too. Boomers are a yes and a no, because boomers are from, like, say 56 and essentially up. So I think on the low end, yes, of that. But as you get age out, I mean, a lot of them are going to be a lot of ailments. Dude, I'm 45 and my knee is jacked up and my hip. Like, I am not a prize. That's for sure. So boomers I have as a maybe, but most likely overall a no, because if even half are a no, then it's just, yeah, the gorilla wins. Now then it was Gen Xers. That's where I'm in. I said a yes, because most of us are in decent health and we're fairly strong didn't grow up a bunch of softies. It's not a butter generation. No, it's not. So I think that they're a yes for Xers. Millennials, while millennials get a bad rap, I think 100 millennials could take on and these are all, I say it's going to be a good fight. I'm not saying officially they're going to win, whether it's Xers or millennials, but I say millennials are a yes. It's going to be a good battle. Gen Zers, no, that's adorable. You think you guys can take it? No, God, half of you are pacifists. Oh, no, golly. Can't we just talk about it? That's so stupid. It's such a dumb conversation because it does make you think. But have you ever seen a gorilla and how freaking strong they are? It doesn't end well for humans. But I think, but it also goes back to what I was saying: is it has to be a coordinated fight. You got to be committed. I think ultimately, yes, it could happen. And sadly, if somebody had enough people dumb enough to do this, somebody would be dumb enough to try this, which would be terrible on all ends. Kyle responded to this and said, I bet you could beat off 100 men, Scott.
Shut the fuck up, Kyle!
You're such an asshole, Kyle. But my hand would be sore. I got to be honest. Because it's not like it's one stroke and you're done. Maybe for some. But some of you guys are going to take a while. And again, avoid eye contact in that situation. Be like, God dang it. Just pretend it's, I don't know, a gooey duck. Kyle.
Shut the fuck up, Kyle!
I haven't used that soundbite in a while. Thank you, Kyle, for enhancing the show. Appreciate it. Oh, my God. That's so funny. Oh, Wheels 0218 said, oh, he just responded with this.
Grab his dick and twist it! Twist that dick! Twist his dick!
Oh my God.
Oh, dick twist!
Yeah. If you want to beat a gorilla, huh? Got to give him the old dick twist. That was like some USC fight, and it's some guy recording some guy that was way too hyped about a fight behind him. And I cut out the guy that was recording it because he's fucking annoying. The pure gold is the individual behind him. And the guy that was recording is trying to add his comedy, but he's not funny. And then it just kind of ruins it. So I chopped it up. And this guy is money.
Grab his dick and twist it! Twist that dick! Twist his dick!
Oh my God.
Oh, dick twist!
The best part is the end. The old dick twist, huh? I got to be honest. If I'm getting the crap kicked out of me and it doesn't look like the person's going to let up, I'll twist your fucking dick. I don't care. If it means you get off me and I can run away to safety, yeah, nothing's off limits, okay? Nothing. I'll bite your dick off. I will. You son of a bitch. You get that out of my face, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch, man. I tell my kids all the time, I was like, if somebody attacks you, I don't care if you rip their ears off. I don't care if you you stick your fingers in their eyeball and you try to touch the back of their head. That's what you do. That's gross. I was like, but if they're not getting off you, that's what you do. I don't care because you got to assume that they're going to hurt you bad. I was like, and I always tell them, you will not get in trouble for that. 0 chances. If they're attacking you, if it's an adult, you will not get in trouble. So I will go to bat for you. There is no reason why you would get in trouble for that. And if all else fails,
I'm going to bite his dick off.
I'll do it. Swear to God. Right? I'm not wrong in that. Because like if somebody's just going to town on you and you're like, oh my God, this is not going to end. They're going to hurt me. I'm going to be in the hospital or I could die. Yeah, I'm going to bite your fucking dick off. Don't care. Did you think I was going to go down that path? Guys, we're talking about fighting a gorilla. Next thing you know, I'm biting somebody's junk off. Classic me. I'd like to thank all the new listeners out there for joining the program. Really appreciate it. Again, this is the #1 comedy podcast in the state of Colorado. Why? Because we're honest. Okay, we are. If we get in a scrap, we're telling the truth here. We're in a truth tree. Okay, if you're in a scrap and you're concerned about your life, you're gonna do what you got to do. Okay, grab and twist, grab and twist. Oh, good times. Again, what a beautiful way to go into one of my favorite sponsors out there, Roof Goat USA. Amazing people that if you got a roofing issue, they're the ones that help you out. Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Seriously, though, it's great because you're always like when you have a roof issue, it comes out of the blue. It's not going to be like, well, I'm guessing this month we're going to have a roof problem. No. Everything's all honky-dory. Next thing you know, you got a leak. Or you look up on your roof as you're driving away or driving home from work, something like that, and you're like, I think we're missing a bunch of shingles. Then you got to get a roof person out there. Who do you go with? You got to go with the GOAT. The Roof Goat USA team is insane. They've been in business for 23 years. They're kicking butt, taking names up in Michigan. Now they're out here in Colorado, and they're ready to help you out. Whether it's a repair, replacement, insurance claims, Roof Goat USA's experienced professionals are committed to delivering reliable and durable solutions. They prioritize the safety and comfort of your family, making sure that your home is well protected against all the elements. Roof Goat USA guarantees their work 30-year coverage, folks, from install date. That's all materials and labor for 30 years from date of install. That's pretty badass. For all your roofing needs, go ahead, contact the GOAT. Sorry. The GOAT. 303-495-4630, 303-495-4630. Or what you can do is just go to roofgoatusa.com. Again, roofgoatusa.com. Go ahead, do yourself a favor, write it down, roofgoatusa.com. Go ahead, experience the Roof Goat USA difference today. Hold on. Let's just, Nick, we got to come up with a name for the GOAT, okay? The Roof Goat. Okay. It can't be Billy. It can't be Billy. Sorry. I know you're like, oh, it's Billy Goat. Oh. Nope. It's either like Todd, Frank, I don't know, something like that. Now I'm like thinking, like, what are some obscure names? Jesse the Goat. Hi, my name's Jesse. I'm a goat. Hi, how you doing? I was talking to Bill with Roof Goat, and he's driving over to a job site, and he's like, I'm gonna jump up on this roof. He's all Scotty. If you saw me, you'd be like, no wonder we call it Roof Goat, because I guess he's like, he's been doing it forever. Like, he's been a roofer since, like, in the roofing industry since he was like 18, something like that. And I guess he can climb up on roofs, no problem. Whereas, like, if I climb up a ladder that's like 10 feet tall, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm like, nope. I had to get on my roof, which, I kid you not, this was a couple months back. It wasn't even, it was maybe 15 feet off the ground. And by the way, I'm telling this story on the heels of me making fun of the people from Elitch Gardens that were stuck on that swing that was 20 feet up. Listen, come on. Who says I'm not a hypocrite? So I'm up there like 10 feet off the ground, and I'm like clinging for life. I refuse to stand on my 2 feet. I'm on all fours with my butt on the roof. I'm like, this is not good. And I'm like crawling over to check something. And I'm like, it's good enough. Thank God Bill didn't drive by. You're like, hey, DeHuff, I want to talk to you about something. What the heck? I like Bill, save me. I need the goat. I need the goat. Anyway. Todd, where you at? Oh, it's fun. It's fun. Anyway, I laugh too hard at my own jokes. I do. Hey, it's fine. At least somebody's laughing. You know what we need to do right now? Let's jump into the sports.
Going deep, tight ends and long balls.
He starts to come and then he pulls out.
Oh, gross!
It's sports with DeHuff.
Well, I thought we were done talking about Shedeur Sanders, and to be honest, I don't want to bring it up. I see some people like Boomer Esiason still trying to bring up the conversation, blah, 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 blah. Don't really care. The only thing that I wanted to bring up, because it was announced this morning, is remember the prank call and the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, Jeff Ulbrich, Ulbrich. Excuse me. I keep adding letters in there that aren't there. Ulbrich's son, Jax, pranked Shedeur Sanders after finding his dad's, the defensive coordinator for the Falcons. He found his iPad open with all the secret draft day cell phone numbers. Shedeur Sanders was on there, so the kid just writes it down. Not the dad's fault. Yes and no. It shouldn't have been a problem. You have trust in your family that they're not going to do anything sinister with your work stuff, especially. But the kid, being a dickhead, took Shedeur Sanders' number down, pranked him. We all saw it. We talked about it last week. Well, the NFL came out and fined for the whole situation the Atlanta Falcons $250,000. They fined defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich $100,000 for that. Come on, man. I'm pissed if I'm that dad. Ultimately, I guess the NFL isn't wrong for fining them. Okay? They're not. That being said, it shouldn't be the dad that's ultimately in trouble. He had his iPad out. Who knows how long it was open? It could have been open for 30 seconds while he had to go run to the bathroom, or he was making himself a sandwich, or something like that. And then the little sinister son goes over there and like, I'm stealing Shedeur Sanders' number. I'm going to do something terrible. Then the dad's like, hey, I'm taking a dump. What you doing out there? Nothing, Dad. Nothing at all. Then he steals the number, makes a prank call, and then ends up posting a video, which is dumb. $100,000 needs to come out of that kid's pocket somehow. He's 21 years old. That's a lot of lawns you got to be mowing. That's what I tweeted. And then Josh S. responded, spoiled, entitled kids don't have to mow lawns. Fact. And that's why they're in that situation they're in. That kid has no sense of responsibility, no sense of respect for his father and the organization, as well as what his actions. That was a terrible thing he did. Obviously, no charges should be pressed against him. It's a prank call. But he's lucky his dad didn't get fired. He's very lucky. And I think the Falcons did the right thing by saying, hey, we're not going to fire you. You got a dipshit son. We get it. We get it. I mean, look at little Timmy over there in the corner picking his nose and eating it. He's 47 years old. He is. He's my son. Love him to death. Dumb as snot. So we get it, okay? So that's nice of the Falcons to do that, but it's a very negative spotlight. And hopefully behind the scenes, somehow the Falcons end up covering that cost. Because it shouldn't be on the adult. It's the kid that fucked that up. I don't know. You tell me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'd be furious. At the end of the day, though, I guess the dad left the iPad open. He should have been more responsible. Should have been. Oh, I'd be furious. Somebody did that to my cell phone. I have a lot of cell phone numbers that you would be surprised who I have from my days of being a radio producer. I have a few actors, some high-end comedians, obviously sports radio talents, former football players, just a lot of big names. You'd be like, oh shit. This is me. This is my humble brag. But anyway, somebody, I was out drinking and they got my phone and they wrote down somebody that I trust, their phone number. And then they started texting that individual. And they're like, where'd you get this phone number? Oh, Scott DeHuff. And then they get mad at me and I'm like, whoa. They got it out of my phone. I didn't realize. Which sucks. I mean, that's a bad look on you. So that pissed me off. But that's nowhere near on the level of that. I've by the way, I've random butt dials. I've butt dialed for whatever fucking reason Shannon Sharp like 4 times in my life. Somehow, some way, I got really hot hands. I do, ladies. I do. I got hot hands, and it makes my phone act up sometimes. Trust me, my wife tells me all the time, you're fucking hot. And she doesn't say it in like, you're fucking hot. No, it's like, oh, God, you're fucking hot. Gross. But like sometimes it makes my phone do weird things, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, shit, I just called somebody. Or a lot of times it's I'll send gibberish to somebody on text, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do? So I've done that to Sharp a few times. And then I have to apologize. Like, dude, I am so sorry. I don't know how that happened. He's a good dude. Well, I can't speak for what happens behind closed doors. Don't know what's going on with all that situation. I don't know if it's a weird kink thing that's going on or if he's a terrible human being. Don't know. You guys know as much as I do. Don't need to go down that path, but it's interesting. The Denver Nuggets beat the LA Clippers last night. Playoff Jamal was in full force. He had 40 points, dude. I tune in the late third quarter, and he's just freaking dominating. They're playing smooth. Just like I said they would, right? Right? I was just like, don't overthink it. Can't be a one-man show. And what was great is you see Jamal, you see Aaron Gordon, you see Westbrook. Everybody was playing together. It was a very good team win. Team win is very important in sports. Okay? It can't be a one-man show. That's exactly what I said. And then sure enough, everybody around them, around like say Jokic, everybody stood up and did their thing. It was great. Christian Brown, everybody. They keep playing like that. Watch out. They're going to make some big time noise. Obviously, they got to win one more game to move on to the next series, which would be against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And listen, if they play like that, okay, they're going to silence the Thunder. That goes back to my old days of writing sports updates. I would always say cliche things like that. Nuggets silenced the Thunder last night, 137-94. You always have to try to change up the verbiage. You don't want to say the Nuggets beat the Clippers and then the Avalanche beat the Stars. You try to mix it up. Like I get irritated on my Alexa because I'll be like, hey, what time do the Nuggets play tonight? And she'll say, the Nuggets face off with the Clippers, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, first of all, it shouldn't be face off. You reserve face off for a hockey game. You would say the Nuggets tip off with or take on the Clippers. Whatever. Sorry. It's just one of those weird little dumb things that I quote unquote take pride with that nobody else really gives a crap about. I used to like that. I used to like writing sports updates. They're easy and they're fun. I like voicing them, doing them during the show. We switched We used to do them live during the show, which I actually liked because if the host made fun of me or screwed me up, I thought it made it more entertaining than just some I'm reading the news type of thing. Like Mark Mosier, when he used to host the morning show with us, he said something to me, and I'm like, Moj, you can't talk to me when I do this. I can't think. And I remember screwing it up. I thought it was hilarious. It sucked at the time, but like soon as I turned off my microphone, I was like, that's kind of funny. That was funny. But they switched it so they're all recorded now, and that way it's not as chaotic. And I believe now it's the voiceover guy, the main voice guy for the entire radio station does it. So what we would do, and I'm guessing they still do it, is like what I would do the night before is write all the updates, the different versions of it. Coming up today on 104.3 The Fan at 6 o'clock, it's the blah, 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 taking on blah, blah, blah. And then immediately after, the Air Force Falcons fly into blah, 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 right? You know, stuff like that. Get creative. Not that you care. Not that you care. But I always thought that was fun. It's an easy thing to do, but I just, I have some fun with it. It was cool. Good little stuff. Good little stuff. Listen, guys, if you're, I say this all the time, if you're looking to get into media, those are the little things that you can practice now at home. Practice a sports update. Keep it to, like a minute. No more than that. Not too much information. But, you just get to the point. And I always say this. There's a big difference. And I remember telling this to like Chad Brown, former Pittsburgh Steeler, now a big time host here in Colorado, also does play-by-play for, I can't remember what network, but just a great, great talent. But I remember telling him when I first started working with them, I'm in a production room and I was like, I need to hear your smile. And he just kind of looked at me funny. I said, it sounds silly, but when you smile and you talk, there's a big difference. There is. It makes you project differently. Versus if you don't have a smile, you're going to be a little bit more monotone and not your energy is gone. But if you smile when you're talking, people can hear it. And he's like, okay. And I was like, I felt weird because this guy is much older than me. He's a hell of a lot more successful than me. And I must have said something like, I don't mean to be mean. And he's like, no. I'm a player. I've been a player my entire life. I'm used to being coached. You're coaching me in here. I like it. That's what I want. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's, I love working with former athletes because of that. You lay down the law and you say, this is what I need done, and here's why. And they do it. Alfred Williams, former Denver Bronco, won 2 Super Bowls with the Broncos, won a championship with the CU Buffs. Amazing human being. Him and I would kind of go back and forth on stuff, but it was just him testing the waters at times. But ultimately, he would listen and do it. And when it came to radio stuff, and it's great. And when you work with somebody that's not coming from the sports world, and they're coming up, I went to school for broadcasting, and then you try to do the same thing, they get so fucking irritated. Ugh, roll their eyes like a little, preteen girl. Like, come on, man. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to make you better. Fuck. I get a little stressed out sometimes when I think about my days in radio. I miss having coworkers. You guys are my coworkers, which, man, we got to talk to HR because you guys are a problem. You are such a problem. But I do miss having coworkers that you can just shoot the shit. That's why I love, like, when you guys talk to me, especially on Twitter or X. You guys are really good at interacting. I like it. That's my interaction. That's my my water cooler talk. So you guys get me through the day. I know it sounds weird, but maybe you at your job, have people to talk to, but I don't. I have my wife that I awkwardly see in the hallway, and I'm like, God, try to avoid that department. Oh, God, she made eye contact. Oh, now she wants to talk. Oh, great. Now we're going to be here for 10 minutes. And then she's going to ask me to make her a sandwich. What does she think I am? Then I make her a sandwich. I did make her a nice breakfast burrito this morning. It was delicious. But yeah, that's you guys are my coworkers, essentially. So, and keep in mind, I say this all the time. I came from a world 18 and a half years of and prior to that, working in a restaurant. So, how we talk behind the scenes. How I talk to you guys, that's essentially how we talk behind the scenes. I always thought it was funny when the morning show was getting absurd rating numbers that were just through the roof, which they haven't scratched. They haven't even sniffed that since I left. It's kidding. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's Maybelline. That was dumb. Sorry. Forget I threw in that lame dad joke. But in the breaks, during the commercial breaks, we wouldn't talk about sports. We wouldn't talk about really what's coming up next, except for maybe as soon as we went to break, there'd be like maybe 30 seconds where we'd say, okay, we're going to talk about this coming up next. And then we just shoot the shit. Say inappropriate stories, jokes, stuff that HR hates, right? But I found it got my guys, my talent, to be in a better mood. It also sparked creativity. So we're talking, and then it would be like, ooh, like Evans or Schlereth would be like, DeHuff, okay, next segment, what if you come on and you do this? Be like, oh, Mike, you dirty slut, that's great. That's the way we worked, and it was a lot of fun. It goes against the grain of what a lot of shows do. A lot of shows, it's business, business, business. And you know what? It sounds like it's all business, business, business. And what makes a good show is one that's informative, yes, but one that's entertaining. I do miss working with them because it was a lot of fun. I don't see that ever happening again, though. Like I was thinking about that today. I'm like, that guy, it's been 4 freaking years since I've been there. But I only miss working with the fellas. But then I had a meeting with somebody yesterday, and I'm like, everything happens for a reason. You can look at that religiously. You can look at that as a beautiful entity of the universe. Somehow we're all connected via energy. However you want to look at it, things happen for a reason. And it might not feel like it at the time, but me looking back, I'm like, yeah, there's parts that I miss, but man, I'm glad. I love what I do now. I love doing this show. I love talking with you guys. It's fun. It's entertaining. I get to go. I don't have to beat a dead horse. Like back then, we used to talk about the same thing every fucking day. And that gets exhausting. It gets exhausting for the guys. I still hear from some of them over there. They're like, oh my God, what I wouldn't give to be able to talk about what I'm fully interested in. Hit on this once and then move on like you get to do. I've heard that a lot. But I love what I've created with this, making this the #1 comedy podcast in the state of Colorado. Yes, it's not all 100% comedy, but I think that would be weird if it was. You know what I mean? Like if I'm like nonstop throwing out dick jokes, although that would be fun too. That would be fun. Hey guys, did you hear this one about the guy with the, baby arm holding an apple between his legs? No, you never heard of it? Well, your mom did. That's right, because I banged her last night. We could do a whole show on that. Sure. Which wouldn't be easy. I know people are like, you should do a whole show as Connery or a whole show as Cowboy DeHuff. Like, do you know how hard that would be? Like going through a story, an entire story, talking about, well, it looks like there was a tourist in the Philippines that was brutally attacked by an alligator. Why? Because he climbed into the fucking enclosure and he took a selfie with it. What a fucking idiot. Hey, speaking of taking a selfie, I banged your mother last night, then took a selfie. Okay, Connery, you fucking dick. Hey, did you see about that student that was rescued from Mount Fuji? Not the restaurant, but from the mountain. Well, apparently he got rescued twice in 1 week. First time he got rescued, they took him back, and they're like, all right, motherfucker, stay home. Next thing you know, a few days later, dude's up there again. Why? Dummy forgot his dang cell phone. That ain't all balls. Just leave your cell phone up there, dummy. Right? Stuff like that. I guess I could do stuff like that. But then I'm like looking at some of these, I'm like, I don't know. I'll tell you what, guys. If anybody on this show could fight a gorilla one-on-one and win, that's me. Because I got to be honest. When I look at myself in the mirror, I go, am I all balls in these jeans? And I go, hell yeah, let's go fight a gorilla. 100 Cowboy DeHuffs could beat a gorilla. That's a fact. Fact. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Hopefully you laughed a little bit in this episode. Got another, dude, we got 3 games in a row coming up for my little league team with my son. It's going to be a very telling series, essentially. They got one tonight, one tomorrow night, and then Friday. Yeah. And it's going to be fun. And I know as long as they do their thing, that they should be good. I'm excited for them. But you never know. You never know. By the way, I've had several people, including Bill, that reached out and said congratulations to JD on hitting his first home run. It's so exciting. So excited. He's still bringing it up. So I can't wait for this game to be over so he can just move on from it. Okay, well, you just, you got a double today. That's good enough. Don't be bragging about doubles. Actually, I'd be bragging about doubles. Actually, he hasn't had a double all season. So he's had all these singles. And actually, no, he did have one double. And the rest were singles and then the home run. So good for him. He's doing well. And so all the other kids are too. And I know sometimes that irritates you guys when I talk about baseball. I'm assuming. I'm putting words in your mouth. But just remember this. I'm proud of my kids. I am. My daughter has a dance recital this weekend. She's doing hip-hop dance. She's like, Dad, can you, I want to see if you can do these moves. And I said, you know what? No, I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to go to the hospital. You're much more coordinated than I am, Aria. So I'm excited to see her dance recital. I've never seen a dance recital. I know we got to prepare for it. It's like 3 hours long. Ugh. All I care about is my daughter. So we got to watch all these other kids dance. And I'm going to be like, buried. Bring on Aria, please. I guess you can't heckle in a dance recital. That would be bad. But I'm excited for her. She's excited. When your kids get excited about things, that's neat. It's really cool. So she's excited. My son's excited. It's going to be a great night tonight. So can't freaking wait. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. Also the subscribe as well as the notification button wherever you're consuming this. Also, a big thanks to Roof Goat USA. Guys, be ready. It's going to happen. We're headed into the bad weather time of year. We're going to start getting hail damage. Have Roof Goat USA ready to go. You can come out and check for damage, and it's a free evaluation. And if you need to move forward, They're right there with you. It's pretty cool. They're the GOAT for a reason. Check them out, Roof Goat USA. Or if it's easier for you, you're old school, you like to do it this way, go ahead, give them a call. 303-495-4630. Again, 303-495-4630. Again, that's Roof Goat USA. They are amazing and definitely need to be on your list of go-to to get that evaluation for your roof. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to contact HR on you, so expect a phone call. You're going to be called into the office. I'm pointing the finger at you, okay? Not at me. Not at me. Let's continue to move forward, guys. It's DeHuff Uncensored. Talk to you.